excited. I know you're going to want to go and shout the world on Facebook. Everybody, oh, I'm starting this business and the products and all that, and spam everybody. But what you're going to do by doing that, you are going to actually scare people away. You're going to make people burn. You say burn people? You say that or no? Burn alive? No. In Italian you say you burn people. You burn your conscience. So the first thing I tell them to do is say, listen, to become a doctor, you need 30 years. Studying, practicing. Can you please at least take 30 hours to study this profession? 30 hours, no more. I trust me, it's a simple profession, but you need to know what you're doing. And I'm so grateful that Eric now translated in all those languages Go Pro, and I tell them, please now, go home and read the book. I even have books with me all the time. So if they buy the big package, only if they buy the big package, I give them a book for free. Otherwise they can buy from me. Because I have to teach them to give value to things. Guys, don't just think it's important just to give. You need to give value to things. So, the first thing I tell them, read the book, then, start using some products. I normally have a stock with me, so then I replace, it's like, can come to my house and I give it to them if they sign up at my house. Otherwise, the products arrive pretty quickly. Otherwise, whatever, start using the service, check the website, check the compensation plan, go and read. Too many people are expecting that we do everything for them. They have to take some time and know what they're doing before they even go and talk about it. And then I tell them, write your list. Don't show up to the next appointment with me if you don't have a list ready. Because the list is what is so important, right? Yes. I like that. You can clap. It's okay. The list is so important. What are you going to do without a list? And of course, I also tell them, write down all the doubts and questions. But guess what? Once they went and watched all the videos, once I read Go Pro, the questions are really nothing. It's more about you empowering them. And now, I found this picture. I thought it looked a little bit like me, blondie, tiny. No, I'm joking. But I wish sometimes I could be a superhero and magically just transfer all my knowledge and all the pain I went through and all the wisdom that now I have after lots of no's and failures to the people. But you can't do that. And you also cannot do it all for them. Guys, yes, a sponsor is important to start out the right person, but also don't start to do it all, because that was my problem. I feel like, okay, I'm going to do the meeting for you, I'm going to do the phone call for you, I'm going to do everything for you. And then they just sit down and do nothing. You need to empower them right away and make them understand that this business, they are entrepreneurs. One of the things that I'm really, really grateful about my parents and my ex-husband at least, is that they gave me a millionaire mindset. I'm not afraid to make the money I make today because I know that I knew even before that it was possible. I was never scared to make $10,000 a month, $50,000 or more. That never scared me. Of course, I never thought that then the business would explode and then network marketing is the freaking best business in the world. But still, I wasn't afraid. And I believe many people, they think too small. So I teach them that, I tell them that. But I also need a teachable heart. I hate it when people shut up at the meeting. This is happening especially with successful businessmen. Oh, I know. Like, what are you going to teach me? Well, if you're good in the traditional business, good for you because you have a very big, you have credibility. But that does not make you the best in network marketing. I was just a mom, and I'm good at it now. Better than some businessmen out there. Or some big managers. So you should listen. I want people I want to find their abilities, natural abilities. For example, for me, it's quite natural to connect with people. I love people. People give me energy. So if a person is introvert, like my husband or even Eric, right? But he always says it. But if they are like that, they have to force themselves to get out of the box. Then, my husband, after a meeting like this, he would go back home and stare at the wall, read a book, and I was still downstairs chatting at the party with everybody. That's how we are. We just need to understand our strengths and our weaknesses, but still, he let himself be taught that part in the business, and I am a mess at calling people, organizing, all that, and I had to learn on the Excel sheet, put the name, the follow-up. I'm terrible at the follow-up. Why? Because I'm like a little tornado, go left and right, and I had to learn to become more organized. So you can imagine this morning my closet and my makeup, right, to come here. I don't wake up like that, okay? Just very simple. So, just for you to understand, when I start somebody, the way I see them is first the newborn baby. They're babies. They can't live without us. They need us. We need to, we cannot abandon. If you abandon a baby, the baby is going to die. And so it's okay. They make you all the question. You need to feed them every 3 hours, I think. But if they call you now, I don't know if you have those distributors that they sign up and they're calling you all the time. I'm like, okay. But I see them as a baby. Thank God they immediately jump to the toddler phase. So they that's cool. You have to learn, you have to teach them the first steps. Like a mom starting to walk, starting to talk. My goodness, I remember the first meetings when I let my leaders talk, I wanted so much to stand up from the chair and say, let me do it, that's terrible. But I had to sit down and say, no, they have to learn to do it on their own. Just like a mother, even though the son is not making much sense, is proud when he's starting to talk, like a toddler. They would fall off their bicycle, it's okay. How many times we tell our kids, don't touch the fire, it's burning, and it burns, and then they touch the flame, and it's actually burning. They need to touch it to know that it's burning. The same thing is going to be with our distributors. We're going to tell them, don't put your profile picture as your logo, and then you go there and you see it. And then they realize it doesn't work. Don't spam people. It doesn't matter. They need to go through it sometimes. You will tell them that they need to go through it, just like toddlers do. And then, some distributors are teenagers. They are so, all of a sudden, I don't understand anything anymore. They know it better. They are making their own new system. Their system is better than mine, or the company system. They want to quit all the time. They are negative all the time, and they call each other up just like teenagers and gossip. Oh yeah, I'm not happy here. Oh, it's always the sponsor's fault, the company's fault, everybody. Do you guys have some teenagers in your team? Well, let me tell you what I do with teenagers. I do exactly like I do with my 16-year-old. I am tough to them. I tell them what I think. And even though sometimes I use a sandwich talk, I got to the point that I made some people cry. Because to me, they're like cancer into my congregation.
Yes.
I say congregation into my. You need to talk to them, put them some wisdom, and like teenagers, I have to tell you this story. One of my distributors one time showed up at a meeting, and she looked like she was going to a strip club. Leather hair, cleavage, short skirt. Just like teenagers, right? When someone tells me, are you going to school looking like that? I don't have a daughter, but I have some of my girlfriends that tell me. Well, I wanted to kill her, right? It was a very important meeting, like she was going to speak about the products, but everybody came up to me, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do? What are you going to tell her? So I could have told her on her face, you're crazy, but I went to her and said, listen, you look way too hot for you to be out there, because people will not focus on the products, they will focus on you. So please go home and change. So do you see how I didn't want to talk to her like that. She said, you think so? Do you think I look too beautiful? I said, yes. Go home and change. Sometimes you just have to talk to the teenagers in a smart way, and those are the same distributors. And then, I'm not sure, did I go to the next slide? Because I'm a mess with technology. It's adults now? Adults, yeah. So, the adults are when they become leaders. Finally they become independent. Finally they do their own thing. Finally you can team them up together. I have, once a week I have a leader phone call where those adults get together, and even though they're cross-line, we help each other, we organize things together, we talk to each other. And for me, this is an amazing time because I pour out all I have, all the knowledge into them. Because I want them to become independent. I want them to be better than me. In fact, many of them are. And this is great. This is amazing. This is the only business that you want people to overtake you and be better than you, because their success is our success, right? Isn't it amazing? It's amazing. And once they become adults, they will become parents of many babies. So leaders make new leaders. Isn't that amazing? Just to have, and sometimes this phase is very quickly. It doesn't take 20 years, okay? Sometimes some people will remain babies. Some people will remain teenagers. It doesn't matter, but I will work with parents of many new babies, because those are the ones that will duplicate and they will rock my team. So, another thing I need to tell you. Now becomes easy. The word network marketing. I mean, I'm Italian, okay? But I can realize that the word work is in the sentence. So when people tell me like, oh, but I thought all I had to do was to share your products. Yeah, to get a little bit of money, but if you want to achieve something great, if you want to become like the women that spoke on this weekend and have incredible teams, international teams all over the world, you need to work and work hard. Not forever. What you will sow today, you will reap it later, but you need to work. This is so important. And give them thanks. Okay, that was not what I wrote, but that's bad. And what I also do is that I book the next webinar with them. I want them to be on my Zoom calls, on my Skypes. I live in Dubai. I have teams in 72 different countries. And I don't speak all their languages, so what I do, I empower, like my Arabic team, there is a woman that speaks Arabic, she will do the presentation for them. Then I come just at the end and close up the meeting, for example. Or, I don't speak Spanish, I speak Portuguese. Now I was in Brazil, I've been in Portugal. So I work online, but also offline, because for me it's important to connect with the people. And of course, you need to promote events. I mean, I look at my first event, my first international event, I had 11 people. I have the picture, I didn't take it because for you it wouldn't mean nothing, but I showed this picture to my team because they know who those people are. And from those 11 people, 6 quit for different reasons. The 5 that remained are all 6-figure earners. Does that say something to you? Amazing, right? Why? I took them to the event, they stayed, they didn't quit, but with time, in 4 years, they became successful. And I love to show the picture because everybody in the room, in my company knows who they are, and they can really see it with their eyes, and I only had 11 people. Last time Eric came to Italy, I had 1,300 people from my team at his event. Isn't it amazing? Amazing. So the duplication is just incredible. Now, I'm lucky because I have natural energy, and I will say that. Get out there and get some energy drink if you don't, because money follows energy. Okay? I've seen some incredible women up here. They have the energy. All my life I was like that. I'm like this also off stage. Okay? My husband instead, when he's on stage, he becomes somebody else because he knows that in order to talk to the people, he needs to have energy. Take action. Action. You cannot just do it for a while and then stop. You need to have a continuous, it's a continuous process. Yes, you can take some time off and put your family first and your kids first, but you need to take action. Just go out there. Be fearless. Be the queen I told you you are. And kings, guys, sorry. There are some kings too. And of course, be authentic. I'm authentic. What you see is what you get. Sometimes I can be a little bit too much because I say exactly what I think. I learned in this business to be more of a psychologist sometimes, or a politician. But people know that I'm authentic. And this is fundamental for your business because people are still skeptical. I still today have lots of people that I meet, even with my story, that are still skeptical. Right? It's okay. It's normal. But if you're authentic, they feel it. They see the light in your eyes. They see the way you talk. They see that you are not there to make even more money. You are there to help them. I love this business because I can change lives. I can bless lives. It's not anymore about me. I started because it was only about me and my kids. I admit it. It was only because of the money. But later on, things change and it's about giving and being grateful. I'm grateful to God, I'm grateful to my team, I'm grateful to Eric Worry that I have to give so much credit for all our success because I started with his teachings. I'm grateful to Marina. Marina took what Eric did and just took it to a whole different level with this event. Women are just amazing. We're just incredible. I just want to tell you girls, I love you. Thank you so much for all your love and your energy back to me, and I hope that you know the queen that you are. Love you guys.